your Superman. Come fly with me, just take my hand. And now that we are cruising in mid-flight, you better watch out for the kryptonite. So come on over, we can make it through, make it through. Take my hand, I know just what to do, just what to do. On the beat, keep dancing through the night, we're dancing. We stay up until the morning light, the morning light. Oh, so come on over, we can make it through, make it through. Take my hand, I know just what to do, what to do. On the beat, keep dancing through the night. We stay up until the morning light, the morning light. Oh. As we look up at the stars in the sky, did we ever stop and wondered why we let our love shine all through the night? Just you and me, babe, until the morning light, the morning. So come on over, we can make it through. Take my hand, I know just what to do, just what to do. On the beat, keep dancing through the night, keep dancing. We stay up until the morning light, the morning light. The morning light. Baby, you're out of sight. On the beat, keep dancing through the night, we're dancing through the night. Stay up until the morning, stay up until the morning light.
Good morning, everybody. It's good morning to me, at least. I'm sure a lot of you are probably getting ready for bed. Let's see here. Wait. Stop that and start this. I'll be right with you. There we are. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Welcome to the first and very likely the last live Sunday Sofatime that will be taking place at this time. I thought I was going to be sort of like excited and motivated to, motivate. I am motivated, but I just thought it would be easier to get up and get awake and get rolling at this time. For those of you who don't know, I live over here in Northern Europe in Hamburg, Germany, and I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it is now 5 in the morning. And that's not a time that I usually wake up and do things, like start thinking of things and putting myself together. I'm just sort of seeing how I look. I think looking okay, washed my face, did my hair, put on clothes, that's all good. Let me say some hellos to everybody, or to a lot of people who are out there. I can see there's a handful of people here already, so I'm really happy that you're here. And let me know where you are. Let me know where you are, and we'll say hi. Carolyn Novak says, I thought you said 8 p.m. EST, but it's 8 PST. No, well, I don't know. I may have said that. What I said was 11 EST. So I think I got that time right. Anybody on the East Coast of North America, it's 11 right now, right? So we've got Michelle here from Kelowna, Canada. Chuck and Jaden, hi. From South Carolina. Susan from Tampa. Kristen, from Hi, Mr. Potts. Sorry, I'll be a good boy, I promise. We've got Atlanta here. Paul writes, getting up at 4 a.m. sucks. Sometimes I have trouble sleeping and don't get to sleep until then. I totally know that. And I was sort of in a mood last night where I almost thought maybe I should just stay up all night. Because sometimes I also get like into like a workflow actually, and then I'll edit video until like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. But no, this was not one of those times. I went to bed, um, and I got up, like I said, at 4 in the morning. For those of you who are just turning up, we are going to be discussing some of the best and one of the worst food experiences I had on board the 5 cruises I got to do this year. Just a couple more hellos here to Nicholas. Great to catch you here in Northern Illinois. Morgan, have been loving your videos lately. Thank you. I've been having a really good time putting them online, putting them out there for you. We've got Holly in Michigan, Connie in Abbotsford, British Columbia. Oh, wow. The comments are going kind of good or kind of fast here. Crazy Kev. Oh, well, Kev, you're not in Australia now, though, but yeah, he's saying hello to somebody. Here's another Michigan here, Trisha. Hi, everybody. Thank you, everybody, so much for coming. And thank you to everybody. Also, let me just, before I forget, thank you to all my new Patreon members. There's been a handful of people, well, more than a handful of people who have joined up at Patreon lately. So thank you so much for that extra support. I hope that you are enjoying watching the extra videos, watching the extra content that's there. If you haven't done it yet, once you become a member, you can go back and watch all the other like extra secret behind the scenes videos as well. And for those of you who were here last week, I mentioned I mentioned that there's now a Patreon tier where you can get a special holiday greeting from my friend Dino. And what I totally forgot was he already did one, and I wanted to show it to you all, and I totally forgot that last week. So I want to show that to you now, and then we'll get into the food. Okay. So if you are interested in getting a special holiday greeting from my good friend Dino, you can check it out at patreon.com/veryunofficial, and you could get something like this for you or somebody that you know.
What's up, Bob? It's your boy, Dino Ciceroli, and your wife let me know you're hoping to get a Porsche for Christmas. A Porsche? Why don't you ask for a real car like a Maserati or a Lamborghini or a Volkswagen Jetta? You know, a real Italian car, not this Porsche crap. Anyways, I'm here to tell you, you ain't getting a Porsche for Christmas. Your wife also let me know that somebody spent too much money gambling in Vegas, so you ain't getting a Porsche. But what you are getting is a video from your boy, Dino Ciceroli. Hey! I hope you have a great Christmas and a happy New Year's and all that crap. Don't drink too much eggnog, and I'll see you next year. Peace!
So I forgot to show that last week. So that's an example of what Dino will send you if you want. And if you already are a VIP member of Patreon and you're interested in getting a Christmas greeting from Dino, just let me know. Also, thank you to everybody who has ordered something from from my Amazon store. That's been, yeah, I'm surprised about how many people have ordered stuff there too as well. If you are looking for Christmas gifts, Amazon.com/shop/very-unofficial travel guides. All right, let's get into the food. As I've mentioned, and as I think most of you know, I was lucky enough to be able to cruise 5 times this year. That sounds, under the circumstances, that sounds so strange. You know what I mean? It sounds, I can't believe I did 5 cruises this year, even though the amount of months and the amount of possibilities to cruise at all were very small. 2 of the cruises I did were in January. We did a side-by-side cruise, which means we did one cruise and then immediately disembarked one cruise and then embarked on another cruise. The first one was the Carnival Sunrise. The second one was the Disney Dream. They were not from the same port. We had to drive from one port up the coast of Florida to the other port all in one day. And it's the only time that I've ever been on 2 cruise ships in one day. And all those videos, of course, are on my channel. So if you are one of these people who's showing up, like Nicole here saying that just found the channel and thanks for the entertainment. Thank you for coming. Go back and watch those videos. And so the food I'm going to show you is a mix of food from main dining rooms, from let's say like specialty restaurants, from buffets that I enjoyed or or didn't necessarily enjoy this year on my cruises. And the first one is going to be from the MSC Grandiosa. Now, a lot of you know those are the videos that are going online now. We're sort of in the middle of the Grandiosa videos, and on the average, the food on the Grandiosa was definitely at the lower level of the 5 cruises that I've done this year. However, there were some highlights, and this is something that was so surprising, is that the highlights were then so good that it makes like the average quality of food on MSC look even worse. You know what I mean? So this is going to be the first one that we're going to talk about today, and it is called the Aubergine and crumbled Feta Napoleon. And if you just look at this, y'all, it's like breaded, crispy eggplant with some, like marinara sauce. In the middle, there was some fresh basil and some mozzarella, and then on top, there's crumbled feta cheese, and it was on like a bed of pesto, and it was so good. It was, and that's what I mean. Like when I look at this now again, and I just think of the amount of work that goes into creating something like this, and that was in the main dining room. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But unfortunately, most of the food in the main dining room on MSC was not this good. So, yeah, like Michelle is saying here, it does. When I look at it right now, it does look so good. Paul also saying it looks so good. I agree. And yeah, this is something like, imagine all the amount of steps that you have to go to create something like this, and then it's being offered in the main dining room. You know what I mean? Steven, I see you. Stop screaming at me. I don't want to wake up the neighbors. Oh, or Marcus. Marcus is still sleeping. He'll probably wake up sometime soon, and you're going to hear him in the kitchen, which is right over here. I told him it's okay. He doesn't have to worry about us. Lori writes, I had that type of mediocre experience with a few exceptions of great food when I was on the Norwegian Dawn last year. The worst main dining room, exceptional Brazilian steakhouse. Sorry about that, Lori. I don't, as far as my experience goes, I would say that's sort of non-typical for NCL. Oh, wait a second here. Connie is saying that my picture-in-picture covers the printing. Oh, I see what you're saying. The next food anyways. So that was, I kind of put these in order, and I think that was like the sixth best, the sixth tastiest thing that I had. And the next thing I want to talk about is actually, oh no, wait, it's not. I was going to say it's the only one on the list from Disney Cruise Line. However, it's not. Here is my, here's my altogether impression of what the food was like on Disney. The ingredients and the preparation of the food that we experienced on Disney, and this was our only cruise on Disney, so I don't really have any other Disney experiences to compare it to. From what I know from most of you, this is pretty typical, but the preparation and the quality of ingredients was extremely high on Disney. But I don't know, the offerings and the flavors were not necessarily what spoke to me, to my like favorites. But one All right. I'm having some technical difficulties here. I need a producer. I need somebody sitting next to me running all this. So yeah. Okay, let me figure out again how to do the picture-in-picture so we can look at those truffle Pursettes again. There we go. Can you hear me now? Good. So yeah, this was on the Disney Dream. This was actually an appetizer, so like a first course, and it was so good that after my main course, I ordered it again. And yeah, this is one of the highlights that I had on Disney. It was in the Animator's Palette, which is also sort of like a dining experience, and that is also one thing that Disney definitely does better than the others. I wonder, okay, what if I move my picture over here and then you can see the text, right? Or can I put my picture up there? Yeah, how about that? Linda says, do you think Disney holds back on seasonings to cater to kids? Yes, that is definitely what I think. Lori writes, the truffle Pursettes have been on the DCL menu for years. They need to change their menus. And that is something that I also was surprised about on Disney. We had some table mates who we had dinner with every night when we were in the main dining rooms, and they had done so many Disney cruises that they didn't even need to look at the menu because it's the same menu. It's been the same menu in all their restaurants for years, and that seems weird to me. Superstarian Knows How asks, what was the filling for the Pursettes? It was, I think, like a mix of ricotta cheese and herbs and spices. Ben Ben wants to know, are you pro-escargot or anti-escargot? Ben, you haven't been here for very long, have you? I would almost rather suck on somebody's toes than eat escargot. That seems so gross to me. I'm not judging anybody who likes to eat escargot, but I would never, ever eat that. Lori writes, only the menus are new in the Rapunzel and Tiana restaurants. Yeah. Nicholas writes, no way would Morgan eat snails. Carolyn, no fishy fishy. You're all correct. All right, let's move on to the next dish here. And this is actually also something that I had on the Disney cruise. However, not on the ship. This was something that I enjoyed while on Disney's private island, Coco Key. And this is one thing I wanted to mention. When I was putting together this list, I tried to ignore the atmosphere and just think about the food itself. Like if this food showed up on my table here at home, which is right over here, would I still think it was so great? So, and I debated putting this plate on the list because it's kind of a basic veggie burger. However, it was prepared really well, and the salads, these salads were so good. So this is a creamy, chunky potato salad, which was so good. There was also a Greek Mediterranean salad with feta cheese and peppers and olives and herbs and spices, and then there was some couscous with chickpeas, and those salads all together were just fantastic. And then a really well prepared veggie burger. Although now that I'm sitting here, I'm remembering there was something about the way it was prepared. I think the woman who was manning the grill put it like right next to some juicy hamburgers. I don't know, I'll have to go back and watch those videos. Do any of you remember what it was that I mentioned about that veggie burger? I'm sure I had, I remember it just being super tasty. So if you just look at that plate. And then, of course, okay, Betsy says she used the same, oh yeah, okay, that's right. She was flipping like the meaty burgers with a spatula and then just came over and flipped my veggie burger with a meaty spatula. Yeah. Nicholas asks, "Are you sure it wasn't a wedgie burger?" Yes, I'm sure. That's a joke. If you watch my second channel, Guten Morgen, I did a video about how there's some certain English words that German people use all the time but say wrong, and that's one of them. They say wedgie burger. All right, moving on, and this is we're going back to the Grandiosa. Surprisingly enough, like I said, there were some highlights, but most of it was sort of below average on the Grandiosa. But I did actually go to one upcharge restaurant, one specialty restaurant where I had to pay to eat there. And I'm trying to think if I did any other upcharge restaurants this year on cruise ships. I'm going to say no, I don't think I did. So this is the only upcharge restaurant that I did in all of 2020 on a cruise ship. And it was to get sushi. And you will be seeing this sushi coming up in one of the daily vlogs on the main channel here. And the yeah, the location is really cool, but like I said, I'm trying to just focus on the food and just ignore the location. So I got 3 rolls of sushi, a normal avocado maki, and then I got this like veggie fudo maki, and then a crispy, also a crispy veggie roll, and I think there was cream cheese in there as well. And I mean, just look at that. That was fantastic. Oh, and I also got some sake as well. This was some really good sushi. Brandon, don't worry. You can go back and watch from the beginning when we're done here. We're sort of in the middle of the list, and this is the sushi that I had on board the MSC Grandiosa. And I have to tell you all something. You know, usually when you usually upcharge restaurants on cruise ships are a little bit on the expensive side for what you get. And I have to say, this was, this was like freshly made for me. It wasn't that they, had like things sitting on a shelf and just put it on the plate. This was made per my order. And for those 3 rolls of sushi and sake and a bottle of water, it did not even cost 30 euros. So I think that's a really good price. And like, I think we talked about this last week on Live Sunday Sofatime, that altogether, for the price that you end up paying for your MSC cruise, you do have to deal with some compromises, but altogether you do get a lot offered. And when you look at the sushi, yeah, I mean, that's a good example. Superstaria Knows How says, that's a big spread of sushi. Yeah, I was full afterwards. Lori says, most impressive veggie sushi I've seen. It was pretty fancy. Joy writes, not bad. Not bad. You sound like me. Yeah, no, it was really good. And I would definitely do that again. And if I do cruise with MSC again in the future, which I may very well do. It's one of the few options that are available to me right now. I could definitely imagine going back to the sushi restaurant again. You can't really see it from this video, but it's sort of like open air. So it's in the promenade. Do you see in the background there? That's like, it's on the second level of that big promenade with the video ceiling and the shops and bars down there. So it's kind of a cool atmosphere as well. All right, let's move on to number 5. And this is, we're getting close to the top. This is actually number 2. So this is the second best thing, like the second highest on my list of this year. And if you've been watching all these cruise videos, you might not be surprised about what this is. This was this Asia noodle avocado bowl that I got on the TUI MeinSchiff. So what exactly was it called again? It's an Asia bowl with glass noodles. So this was just fantastic. And this was in a restaurant that's included in the price of the cruise. And just looking at it again literally makes my mouth water. I need to have a sip of coffee, by the way. Is my decaf? I've now moved up to half calf, actually. For everybody just showing up, we're getting close to the top of my list here. It's 5:30 in the morning here in Germany, and I'm so glad that all of you are here from wherever you're dialing in from. This is this fantastic salad that I got on board the TUI MeinSchiff, and I got it on board both of the MeinSchiffs that I did. However, on the second MeinSchiff, it was less good than this. Joy, actually, that's not tofu that you're seeing. Those are chunks of avocado. Angela says, so colorful, lovely. Yeah, I mean, with the green avocado and then the goji berries, and then there was, I think there's mango in there, and then there was also some spicy cauliflower. Really, really good. Betsy says it looks so fresh and green. Yeah, and it had this like teriyaki sesame dressing on it that was amazing. And actually, we had salad for dinner here in Hamburg last night, and because I had put together these video clips before that, I tried to recreate the sesame dressing, but it was so much better on the ship. And like I said, they have the same restaurant and the same dish on the second TUI MeinSchiff cruise that we did, and the quality was unfortunately much lower. It was something I was really looking forward to. Carolyn Novak says, I'm sure nachos are next. What? Carolyn, me? Mexican food? Nachos? What? Before we get to my favorite thing that I had on cruise ships this year, and some of you are guessing in the comments, and some of you are correct. I wanted to show you, just for some comparison, one of, if not the worst thing that I was offered on a cruise ship this year. And I did, how to say this? There is just an interesting atmosphere I've noticed in the comments of my recent videos, and also as I've been putting them together. And it seems that people at the moment are not really like open for any kind of criticism about anything that has to do with travel. People seem to come, or not everybody, but there are people who I know have had a really rough year. And then when they come to one of my videos and then I complain about something that might seem sort of petty, then they kind of go off and have a lot of what's it called? Accusations, or they make fun of me for being like, oh, you get to go on a cruise while we're all stuck at home, and then you complain about the sushi or whatever. But as I was making these videos, and as I continue to make these videos, I am trying not to dwell on the situation. Not only because it's not fun for me, but I don't think it's fun for you. And people are going to watch these videos for years to come, when hopefully the current situation has been absolutely forgotten. You know what I mean? When we hopefully will forget about what this is all like to be in the middle of it. So for me to in every video be like, well, this isn't really how I think it should taste, but I get to be on a cruise, so I'm just not even going to mention it. You know what I mean? That would feel like kind of censoring myself. I don't know how else to say it, but so this is the veggie burger that I got also on the TUI MeinSchiff in the late night 24-hour restaurant. Now let me just pause it here to fill all you in who haven't seen this daily vlog from a couple months ago. This restaurant is like the 24-hour restaurant, and on the menu they just have some salads on a salad bar that you can get, and then the only other thing they serve, at least when I was there, they had 4 different burgers. They had a normal burger, a cheeseburger, then the works burger, and a veggie burger. So the guy running the grill, that's all he had to make. I mean, it was a guy when I was there. I'm sure a woman could do it too. And the veggie burger was supposed to be, I think it was quinoa and tofu burger, it said. Quinoa and tofu patty, I think. And when I ordered it first, the guy on the grill made me a normal meaty burger, and they brought it to the table, and I said, "That's not a veggie burger, is it?" And the woman who had brought the food brought it back, and then there was a long conversation that she had behind the bar, and then there was somebody else who was brought to it, and they seemed so confused, and I was like, this is one of the four things on the menu. You know what I mean? It's not like I sat down and like went way off menu and asked if they could, create something that was not on the menu. This was one of the four menu items, and this is what they ended up serving me. Somewhere they got I'm pretty sure they cooked some quinoa freshly just for me, and then like with an ice cream scoop plopped it on a burger bun. If you look at the top of the burger bun, you can see, it's dry. There's no ketchup, no sauce. Exactly, Carolyn. Yeah, dry bun. There was some lettuce on the bottom, and then it looks like there was a little bit of avocado or guacamole or something. Michelle writes, it's probably not ordered often, and I think that's the case. Nicole writes, it looks like a Rice Krispies burger. It totally looks like a Rice Krispies burger. And for me, and here's the thing, because there were no sauces, there were no onions, no tomato, anything on there, how could you even call it a burger? It's like a scoop of bland quinoa on a dry bun. Jay writes, I've learned to love quinoa with some tomatoes, cucumbers, scallions, and lemon juice, but on a burger? Well, exactly. Look at that. And it didn't look good. I don't want to say it tasted bad. It just didn't taste like anything at all. Quinoa is kind of like, it's like rice or like tofu. It can really add a lot to a dish, but it has to be seasoned well, and it has to be served with tasty things, and this was not. Betsy writes, that's not a patty. Exactly. And this was served to me on my first TUI ship, and I wanted the comparison, so when I did my second TUI cruise, the one that Marcus came with, where we stayed in that gigantic, fabulous suite, I needed to see if they could do it better, and that was one thing that they did do better. I don't have any pictures of it here, but they at least it was a patty, like a fat, solid mass that was, biteable and crunchable. Hari, you made it. You must be waking up? No, what time is it, Hari? Jay wants to know, do you think some ships had the B squad? Well, I think what it is actually is when I got this burger, it was, I think, the second cruise at all after the lockdown. So I think that some of the staff who was on board was just unfamiliar with the menu, you know what I mean? And I'm totally forgiving for that. And like I said, it still was great to be on a cruise, but I couldn't not mention this burger. Thanks for coming, Ari. Lori writes, new crew. Yeah, it probably was. All right, for those of you who have shown up in the middle, we're at the top of the list now. This was the worst thing I was offered this year on cruise ships, but it was still nice to be on the cruise. And I think that at the end of this little video clip I put together, I show you well, let's just watch it. Got some fries with, of course, some mayo and ketchup, just like a good German boy would. And then, of course, there was a really great view outside. Oh, Nicholas, thank you. Wait, where is it? Thank you, Nicholas, for the super chat. It says, before you get to number one, just leaving this here. Thank you so much. I'm humbled every time I get one of these super chats. Every time one of you shows up at Patreon, every time somebody visits my Amazon store, every time somebody buys one of my t-shirts or towels or telephone cases, every time I'm so thankful and so humbled. So let me just say thank you again. Mayo and ketchup, yes. Michelle Ann Are you in North America or are you someplace in Europe? Because I know most people in North America, or most people, let's say, in the United States, are not familiar with mayo and ketchup. Uh, no, Carolyn says, I think Marcus is awake now. Oh, because of the air horn? It's not as loud here as it is for you, I think. All right, one more sip of coffee, and then we're going to move on to my favorite thing that I was offered on a cruise ship this year. Yeah, so as you know, the first cruise of this year was with Carnival, and Carnival was a cruise line that so many of you had suggested to me for years previous, or years prior to this cruise. And for several reasons, we just kind of shied away from Carnival. And one was because we hadn't heard a lot. Well, we either heard really terrible things about the food or really good things about the food. And then it was kind of hard to judge which one was true. But I was pleasantly shocked, let's say, shocked in a pleasant way about how fantastic the food, especially for vegetarian or people who eat vegetarian or people who eat vegan. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that Carnival would have the best food this year? I'm trying to find out, how do I get myself back to full screen? Oh, like this, right? There we go. Yeah. So altogether, when I was putting this list together and looking through the food that I was offered on Carnival, I could have done like five things, like five fantastic things that you know what? Now that I think of it, I skipped over something. I skipped over something. Oh, and before I do that, I have to put this in here. Stephanie Smeltzer writes, ranch with hot sauce is tasty. Yes. Fries with ranch dressing and Tabasco sauce. Mwah. So, where is it here? Here. All right. So, I skipped over something. I forgot something. And it was this fantastic lunch I had on the Carnival Sunrise. Excuse me. So this is couscous and toasted chickpea salad. So it was served in the bowl like that. Then this, oh my gosh, yes, double cheese, grilled cheese, and the fries with these three aiolis, three different dips. Oh, does that not look good and decadent? Like, I'm getting heartburn just looking at it, but just remembering how good it tastes. I mean, do you see the salad? Those were like pre-made salads, and there was something offered like that every day. And it's on a Carnival ship. And I don't know if they had done a lot in a short amount of time to change their cuisine, or if this is just what it's always like. But like I said, we had amazing food on the ship, and especially amazing meat-free food on the ship. All right, so that was let's say we'll call that the bonus. And now we'll move on to my favorite thing that I was offered and ate this year, also on the Carnival Sunrise. So many of you who have been watching all my videos have guessed it already in the comments. I've seen that. And it was these amazing, amazing black bean tacos that I got from the Blue Iguana, included in the price of your cruise, not a specialty restaurant. I mean, look at this. This is cruise ship food. You can go order as many of these tacos as you want while you're on your cruise, and believe me, I did. And it costs you nothing extra. Charity, hey Charity, thanks for coming. Writes, all this talking about food apart from that veggie burger is making me hungry. I know. It's almost 6 o'clock in the morning here. Marcus will be waking up soon. And I'm getting really hungry too. But, can you have tacos for breakfast? What do you all think? Is tacos a breakfast food? Let me play that back again and let's just, savor in the goodness of these tacos. So at least when I did the cruise in January, and I'm sure when cruising starts again, this will change. But the way it was at the Blue Iguana is that you go up to the counter and then you get like sort of the main ingredients of the tacos. And then there's a big like toppings bar with just so many different toppings. You can see there fresh cilantro. There was a whole bunch of different kind of salsas. There was different kinds of cheeses. And then you put that all together on your own. So, um, yeah, I wonder how things will change when, well, I'm sure when cruising starts again on Carnival, they'll probably just have somebody at that bar, at that sauce bar or toppings bar station who will put them all together, probably. All right. Well, that's my list. I mean, not bad, right? All right. All right. Here we go. Stephanie says tacos. Yes, I love that toppings bar. Can't wait to do that again. Um, Art writes, I'll add some Nemo to it. Yes, Marcus likes seafood as well, and we have just sort of this inside jokes, this mean thing that I do to him. Anytime he eats seafood, I always sing. I always sing a song from the Finding Nemo musical at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Rest in peace for the moment, but yeah, it's just something I do. Or when he sends me a picture that he's eating seafood someplace and I send him some sort of fish emoji, some cute little fish. Isn't that nice? Aren't I a good partner? Um, the mom writes, yes, tacos is definitely breakfast food. I made refried black bean, ground turkey, and eggs this AM. That sounds good too, if you like eggs. Yes, exactly. Just keep swimming. Actually, what I usually sing is, in a big blue world. Lori writes, go with the flow. Yeah, unfortunately, almost every live show at Disney in Florida has been canceled for the moment. All of the employees have been let go. It's a not very nice time for those people at all. Um, but I'm sure when things get better, um, I'm sure they will all come back. LJ Roth, a super chat. Oh, where is it? Here it is. I love these sound effects. That's like, hold on, let me do this. Did I get the timing right? What's this one? Uh, LJ writes, love your videos, Morgan. I enjoy hearing about both the great and not so great things on all your trips. No need to censor yourself. Well, thank you so much. Thank you a lot for the super chat, and thank you for saying that, because like I said, I do read all the comments, and most of the comments are positive. Most of the comments are like this, but then sometimes there'll like come a string of negative comments in, and sometimes it does get me in a bad mood, but it definitely makes me think about it. Like I've wrote to quite a few people who've shown up on Patreon lately that when you do what I do, there are no, like yearly reviews. There are no, how am I doing talks with a manager who sits down and goes through my performance or whatever to let me know what I need to improve and what I'm doing well. You know what I mean? And all that I have is my instinct and and the feedback that I get from all of you. So, when people like LJ write, no need to censor yourself, I think what you're referring to is what I was saying about how I'm trying to when I'm on these trips at the moment with the current situation, I'm trying to not focus on this is the situation. I'm just trying to enjoy it for what it is and to experience it in as much of a normal mood as possible. And for me, that includes when something is not going right, when something is not at the quality that I expect, to mention it and to not just sugarcoat everything because this is an example I came up with. A lot of people write, oh, he gets to go on a cruise even though the rest of the world is on lockdown, and then he complains about a veggie burger or something like that. And for me, that's kind of like the starving kids in Africa, thing that parents used to tell their kids when they didn't want to finish their vegetables or whatever. It's like, believe me, I know that there are, some people really struggling right now. But that doesn't mean that I shouldn't take advantage of the opportunities that I have. And by taking advantage of those opportunities, and like I said, by trying to focus on doing them as normal as possible, I feel like that in turn is a better value for all of you because it's more entertaining, right? So yeah, that's just a little heart to heart with us. Nicholas writes, could have positive things to say about Genoa if you bring your nose plugs next time. Actually, not Genoa, Naples. Genoa is where I went on that fantastic bike ride, which is coming up in one of the videos coming up. Chris, hey, thanks for coming, Chris. Enjoy all your videos. Lori writes, I made a comment about authenticity. I had to cancel cruises in September and October of this year. Oh, man. But your trips were vicarious experiences. That's what I try to do, and there's going to be more of those videos coming up. Connie writes, when reading reviews, I generally ignore all the 5-star and 1-star and read the rest. That's true. And when you do read reviews, this is just a little thing before we say goodbye here. Remember that people are more likely to take time out of their day to sit down and write a negative review than they are a positive review. So I think for every positive review something gets, that equals like 5 negative reviews. You know what I mean? Because that sort of anger or disappointment, I think more people would use that as a motivation to sit down and be like, well, I'm going to get them, than they would to be like, oh, we had a great time. Let me reward, this business or this restaurant, this hotel or whatever. Joy writes, be yourself. The people who like your videos and love your tangents and who know how hilarious your personality is will stick around. Well, thanks, Joy. Thank you for this personal review that you're providing with me. And thanks, everybody, for coming. If you're watching this in the future, if you didn't watch this live chat, I'm going to give you a secret word. So who's got a suggestion for a good secret word related to this? Last week's secret word was Advent, and I'm surprised how many people actually do watch these hour-long videos. Thank you. So looking for a suggestion for a secret word here in the comments. In the meantime, Nicholas, and what non-cruising people don't understand is a bad day at sea is almost always better than a good day on land. Yes, exactly. Betsy writes, Iguana. Okay, that's a really specific secret word. Yeah, so if you're watching this in the future and you've watched until this point, then you need to somehow hide the word iguana in your comments, so I know that you watched to the end. It's like our secret code. And there's some people asking about desserts here, and yeah, I didn't put any desserts on this list because I wanted to stick to like main food. But do you think we should do another one of these chats and I just do the desserts? That would be an option as well. Let me know what you think. And I hope you all have a fantastic week. Like I said, it's early Monday morning here, so my week is just starting. There's going to be some more videos from the MSC Grandiosa coming up this week, and I'll see you probably here in front of the red sofa again next week. If it will be live or not, you'll find out a couple days before, and I've really enjoyed doing this all together, and I just want to say thank you to everybody. So, bye-bye.